Funhouse Massacre. Action. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another 31 Days of Horror. Today we're looking at the Funhouse Massacre, written by Ben Bagley and directed by Andy Palmer. This is a low-budget horror movie that came out in 2015, and it's about 6 psychopaths who escape a mental institution, and they go to a Land of Illusion theme park, and they basically take the spots of actual actors, and they start killing people for fun. So it's basically Hellfest that just came out this year, except it's on steroids when it comes to gore, and it doesn't take anything serious. Let's start off the positives. The positives is we get a lot of horror alumni in this movie. You get Robert Englund at the very beginning. He plays the asylum owner. He runs this asylum where it's like a very underground secret asylum where they just keep people who are hidden from society that people don't want society to even know about. And you get Courtney Gaines from Children of the Corn, and then you get Clint Howard in this movie. So this movie basically just tries to pull a Rob Zombie Halloween and just throw a bunch of horror alumni in your face. Like, hey, this is a familiar face. This movie tries to be a love letter to gore hounds and people who really love blood and guts. This movie has some beheadings, sawing off, and blood spews. Even if someone gets shot with just a regular pistol, there's like blood spewing out of their bullet hole. Makes no sense. And the concept of this movie is very similar to Hellfest, and it's a cool concept. It's a concept that, you know, there's stories and myths about, like how it actually has happened in real life. So therefore, that's probably the creepiest aspect of this movie. It's just the concept, except it's not executed in a serious tone like Hellfest was. And yes, this movie, since it wasn't serious, it was actually pretty funny. This movie just does not hold back on a comedy. It's just here to make you laugh throughout the whole movie, to the point where it's like, I can't even call this a horror movie. It's not a horror movie. It's a 99% comedy with just blood. Just one. That's the horror aspect of this movie, is people dying.
Let me guess, your friend's been murdered at the Funhouse. Wow, that was actually pretty realistic.
It is a breath of fresh air to see some characters who aren't too stupid. They actually do fight back in some scenes, so that's always nice to see. They got this awkward relationship between these two characters where they both love each other, but they just won't admit it to each other, which is exactly the same scenario we get in Hellfest. Did Hellfest rip this movie off and try to do it better? I'm thinking that they did. But this boy finally kisses the girl towards the end of the movie. And it's like, finally. Because they've been dragging that shit throughout the whole movie to the point where it's just way too awkward. And this movie's not that long. And I also really enjoy the fact that this movie was shot in Ohio. Like 20 minutes from where I live. Land of Illusion theme park. Like, this is a very popular haunted attraction park that comes every year. They got quite a few different locations. But Land of Illusion, if you haven't checked that out, look it up. You should go. But yeah, besides all the blood and gore and the horror alumni, I can't think of anything else, and the jokes in this movie, I can't think of anything else that's positive about this movie. This movie was just not serious at all. There's not a genuine moment of suspense or tension in this movie. This movie doesn't even try, and if it was trying at some point, I never caught it because I was just too busy just relaxing in my chair because of all the comedy coming my way. It's just a constant comedy, so it's not building tension. Even the characters are never scared. And this movie did feel like a low-budget movie. It felt like they didn't have that many extras. You saw like the same extras running around. Like they start this massacre, and there's people like running frantically trying to leave. And then like 5 minutes later into the movie, they're still just running in circles in the same spots. Like, just get the fuck out. Every exterior shot in this movie, and when I say every exterior shot, I mean every exterior shot at night, which is 90% of this movie, looked like the fog from John Carpenter. There was constantly a fog machine in the background, just releasing fog throughout the whole fucking movie. And then we even got like, when we were getting this introduction to the psychopaths at the very beginning, they had like all these flashbacks showing what these people did, and they were just being these pitch black studio rooms with just fog in the background. And even though this movie has 6 psychopaths doing killings, you only see 2 of them do killings, and the other ones you probably see do 1 killing. And that's it. Like, they didn't even focus on all 6 of these people equal amount of time each. They just focus on 2 of them and just push the rest aside. And then you just got very hokey characters. Characters that are just so far-fetched, like, over-the-top fucking weird. You got 2 characters who like to bang in public restrooms all the time, and they just say and do all kinds of crazy shit. And like I said, this movie does not take itself serious at all. When a woman is being attacked and she gets her face cut by a crazy lady who's trying to kill her, her main concern is that she just got her face messed up and she cares about her looks. Just lots of logical errors in this movie. Like the fact that these people were killing so many people the whole time, just laying their bodies around, not getting caught, and then when people were seeing bodies, they just never picked up on it, that these were real bodies. Give me a break. They try to insert this backstory between this police officer who comes to save the day, or at least she comes to kill one of them, one of the 6 bad guys, and they insert the story that she has some sort of like, history with one of these people, that her mom was in this guy's cult, because one of these psychopaths used to have like a cult and he made a bunch of people burn themselves or something. And they kind of give her like a history with this guy, and it does nothing for the story. It's not interesting. This could have just been a cop who answers a distress call and comes to shoot this asshole and try to save the day. This whole backstory did nothing. It was not necessary. It just didn't need to be there at all. It made no sense. And then that cult guy, he gives like this big speech after he kills these 2 DJs, and then the massacre starts, and he's like giving this monologue. And it felt like he was trying to be serious, and this movie was like trying to have a message that, society, we judge other people that are actually maniacs killing people, but we're hypocrites because we go to see fake psychopaths at haunted trails that aren't really haunted. Like we're really the sickos. Like this movie was like trying to have this weird message, but the message isn't clear because we're just too busy. It's surrounded by all this comedy. So the message isn't even received. And of course we get that piece of shit evil lives on ending, even though in this scenario, a woman pulls a Hannibal Lecter, basically, in a scenario where she would not get away with what she did. But yeah, this movie was just a cheesy B horror movie, except I wouldn't even call it horror. But it's just got the horror elements of gore and kills, but it's just a fun, hilarious movie, just played for laughs throughout the whole thing. So don't go into this movie thinking it's serious, and because of how fun it is and how gory it is, I wouldn't say this isn't like wasted time. So therefore, when it comes to the Funhouse Massacre, this is a good movie to just sit around with some friends and crack jokes at and just have a beer and watch. So therefore, I recommend that you just rent this at Redbox. The Mr. Hat Award goes to Jason. Rocco walks up to him and starts pushing his face up against the fence so hard that his face starts to go through like Andy in Final Destination 4. And the Mr. Twig Award will go to Morgan, I think that's his name, who gets his back broken by Rocco. It's completely out of nowhere, and it's played for laughs, even though this is the one character that they actually focused on. So it was actually kind of sad to see him go, so that sucks. And those are my thoughts on the Funhouse Massacre. Did you see this movie? Do you prefer over Hellfest, or do you like the more serious tone of Hellfest? I think Hellfest did it better. I just wish there was more gruesome kills in that one. And they even rip off a kill in that movie from this movie with the sledgehammer. So, just lots of ripping off going on. Let me know what you thought about this movie in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this review and you want to see more, you can do so by clicking on my cartoon face in 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.